Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi and a very good morning. So on behalf of ISIS Malaysia and our esteemed partners, it is both an honor and a privilege to welcome you once again to PRAXIS. Now, for over 40 years, ISIS Malaysia has remained steadfast in its mission to provide a rigorous research, insightful analysis, and policy recommendations on issues of strategic importance. On the international front, our flagship event, the Asia-Pacific Roundtable, continues to convene distinguished voices from across the globe. This year's edition, held in June, was met with exceptional enthusiasm and tremendous participation. Since 2011, our work on domestic policy issues has been anchored by PRAXIS. Fast forward to 15 years, what began modestly as a seminar concerned with macroeconomic questions has transformed into a flagship public policy conference, encompassing key issues of social policy, technology, climate and the environment, and of course, economic growth. Nevertheless, certain things remain constant. Firstly, PRAXIS has always been as much about the future as is it about the present. We trace the contours of where current trends are taking us, but we have never accepted that a line once drawn is cast in stone. Secondly, we cannot overstate the import of the word praxis itself, which means action as distinct from mere contemplation, and the inseparable unity of theory and practice. Or as Marx puts it in the final thesis on Feuerbach, the philosophers have only interpreted the world in various ways. The point, however, is to change it. Perhaps since Natalie is here, maybe I should try the original that Marx wrote. I think it's something like this. I've got it down here. Die Philosophen haben die Welt nur verschiedend interpretiert. Es kommt aber darauf an, sie zu verändern. How is that? Okay, thank you. So in this way, PRAXIS has been about turning knowledge into vision, vision into policy, and of course, policy into action. Thus, when old frameworks no longer fit material realities, we must have the vision to imagine new futures as a nation, and with the courage of conviction and the tenacity of purpose, bring them to fruition via social, political, and economic action. Participants and colleagues, this year's theme, reimagining visions of progress, now underscores a preoccupation that for decades has taken a central place in our collective imagination, becoming a high-income developed nation. It seems to thrive on the notion that that is the be-all and the end-all of development. Yet, across the world, we know that the richest countries, as measured by their very own metrics, are now grappling with the deep-seated and existential social, economic, and political dislocations. They are discovering that national wealth, without more, does not necessarily translate into good lives, cohesive communities, or a livable environment. On the contrary, many of the wealthiest economies are simultaneously confronting ecological breakdown, eroding trust and belonging, and rising insecurity for ordinary families. Challenges that growth alone appears poised to aggravate rather than ameliorate. As Malaysia approaches the high-income threshold amid its 70th year of independence, this question acquires new urgency. Together, these milestones offer a rare chance to reconsider the purpose and meaning of social and economic progress in a more uncertain, unequal, and environmentally constrained future. In bringing this year's conference theme and program to life, we ask a deliberately simple question. What would a hopeful future Malaysia look like? This year, the PRAXIS process began from a conviction that an organizing vision of progress cannot simply be handed down from above. Instead, it must be imagined together as a nation. And if it is to be imagined together, it seemed only right to begin with those who will inherit it and who will live longest with its consequences, the young people of Malaysia. The children indeed are our future, and as John Keats reminds us, that a thing of beauty is a joy forever. And what better way to express their pristine inner beauty than in, just a little bit waxing lyrical here, William Blake's Songs of Innocence. When the voices of children are heard on the green, and laughing is heard on the hill, my heart is at rest within my breast, and everything else is still. So in the months before this conference, with the support from Teach for Malaysia, we invited Malaysians aged 11 to 14 to our institute and asked them to put crayon to paper. So for one morning, the rooms in which we normally argue about climate policy and great power competition were given over to children with a brief for them to draw for us. What does their vision of hopeful Malaysia look like? Likewise, on another occasion, with the support of Yayasan Tuanku Abdul Rahman, we asked Malaysian teenagers aged 16 to 18 to write letters about the future they hope to inherit. In 2015, we're looking at that. So earnest, unguarded, visionary letters written by a generation that has not yet learned to call things impossible. A collection of their drawings and their letters is on display outside the hall, and I hope you will take a moment with them during the break and discover how the impetuous fire of youth, combined with the idealism of innocence, could translate into policy writing in its own right. And momentarily, we will screen a short film drawn from that exercise and aptly titled Futures We Want. Partners and colleagues, as we begin PRAXIS 2026, allow me to underscore three things. That history is not destiny, that the development of frameworks which have bound us for decades need not be the only playbook available to us, and that the imagination of our young people deserves not merely our applause, but our attention. Let us therefore engage deeply, think boldly, and collaborate meaningfully. May we have shared resolve and collective imagination, not only to confront the fractures of our time, but to chart pathways towards progress at home and across the region. Dear friends, as we close, I would like to take a moment to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the PRAXIS team. Their tireless dedication has made today's conference possible, as well as the longer-term, year-round work that gives the PRAXIS process its depth and significance. Next, to our esteemed speakers, moderators, thank you for agreeing to share your time, expertise, and insights with us today. By engaging with the critical challenges confronting our nation and the region, your contributions will undoubtedly enrich the quality of our discussions. To our partners, CAS, shall we just give to Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, TNB, Tenaga Nasional, Berhad, YTAR, Yayasan Tunku Abdul Rahman, and TFM, Teach for Malaysia. This conference would not have been possible without your steadfast support. So on behalf of the entire ISIS Malaysia team, I extend our heartfelt appreciation for your generous contributions. And finally, to our participants, thank you for your attendance and your commitment. I earnestly hope you will remain with us throughout the day and take part in all the sessions which the team has thoughtfully curated. Thank you.